Good morning, my fellow friends, my fellow believer. It is a great opportunity to be at the studios of the Evangelist Ministry and preach the gospel to all of you, my friends. From the studios of the Evangelist Ministry, we spread the good news about Jesus Christ and His saving grace. Our mission is to lead people into a growing relationship with Jesus Christ. The topic of this morning is don't give an opportunity to the devil. I said, don't give an opportunity to the devil. When you have chance later on, you can open your Bibles in Second Kings, chapter 18, verse 9 to the 36. You will find the story about Hezekiah. Hezekiah, a righteous man, a fearful man who served God with integrity. Even though his ancestors had forget God, it is evident that when every man, people, and nation wants to serve God with all his heart, the enemy wants to attack also. You see, when you try to do something for God, the devil is ahead of the game. That's what I mean. I said that even though his ancestors had forgetting God, but it's evident that when every person, every Christian wants to serve God with all their heart, the enemy wants to attack. And he used the closest friends sometimes. Trust you not in a friend. Put you not confidence in a guy. Keep the doors of your mouth from her that lie in the bosom. Micah chapter 7 verse 5. This was a case of the king of Syria. Had invaded, defeated, and conquered so many nations that he had found in his path. A very powerful man. And when he reached the borders of the kingdom of Hezekiah, was different story. The king of Syria believed that victory would be certain. Hezekiah, seeing the circumstances surrounding him, considered that the enemy numbered and gave himself to the enemy without fight, according to 2 Kings, verse 13 and 36. We see that the enemy does when he is given ground. And we will also see what God does for us when we take refuge in him. According to 2 Kings chapter 18, verse 14. What happened, my friends, when we give ground to the enemy? What happened when we open the doors to the enemy? What happened when you invite the enemy home? The question is, what happened when we give ground to the enemy? My friends, he imposed a burden on us. When we accept the burden, we accept defeat, and the enemy puts a yoke in our lives. Feeling of defeat make us feel guilty. discouragement, fail, inferiority, and yet even though we have failed to the Lord. But my dear Lord, my friends, the Lord is so faithful. The Lord invites us, come unto me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest, said the Lord in the book of Matthew, chapter 11, verse 28. What is the cause of defeat, my friends? It costs us even what God has given us already. Here you can see that when we are at the orders of the enemy, when we are defeated by the enemy, he is still even the blessings of God, according to 2 Kings chapter 18, verse 15 and 16. We can see the enemy is not only content in putting on us a burden, but he will also want to rob us what God has given us already. And not only will he do that, but he will want to see us completely destroyed. This is the devil. We can compare Second King chapter 18, verse 17 and 20. What does it make us? We can see that it makes us feel alone. When we are defeated, it makes us feel alone. And in huge loneliness without any help. The enemy attacks our mind and gives us thought that no one can help us. When you're defeated, when you are right on the floor, you think that nobody can help you, and we forget that God is already with us at the moment. But my friend, we can see that it makes us feel alone, a huge loneliness without any help. The enemy attacks our mind and gives us thought that no one can help us. Puts us in a spirit of resignation. And sometimes you call yourself a loser. And we ignoring the problem. Let's think about 2 Kings chapter 18, verse 21 and 24. Sometimes fear makes us give up the enemy. But the Bible said, my friends, for God hath not given all the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. Bible said, let us therefore come boldly unto the throne of grace, that we might obtain mercy and find grace to help in times of need. Hebrews chapter 4, verse 16. But you see, the big question is this: what make us believe the enemy? What make me believe the enemy? My dear friends, the powerful weapon of the enemy is guilt. Give us the spirit of guilt to make us believe that his attack of his is sent as a judgment of God. And then we go down and say, God is punishing me. This is not true, my friends. But the enemy gives us the spirit of guilt to make us believe that his attack of his is sent us as a judgment of God. He even pretends to be God. You can see in the book of 2 Kings chapter 18 verse 25. We see once again that the devil is a liar for excellence. He wants us to believe that everything that happened is consequences of our mistakes or sin that we have committed. and tell us everything that is happening comes from God just to grieve us. But my dear friends, what does Satan offer us? Have you ever think about, first thing, what we believe, things that the devil tell us? Why do we believe what the enemy tell us from the beginning? This is the question. But now, what does Satan offer us? Big offers. As long as we don't believe God, he said, as long as we don't believe God, I give you this and I give you that. But him, we see clear reality that when the devil does not achieve his purpose, he begins to offer everything. Think about that. Certainly things that means desires and offers economic prosperity, but with a life of slavery. The devil said, do not listen to the word of God. He deceived you that no God of the nations will deliver you from his hand. He will tell you, not even God will take you away from me. This is what the devil said. Remember, no matter how many things the devil can say or how many things he can bring against us, we must trust the word of God. We get into a conclusion. The psalmist said, though an host should encamp against me, my heart shall not fear, though war should rise against me. In this will I be confident. Psalms 27:3. The book of Psalms 27:3. In addition, brothers, we know that the difference between guilt and conviction. We serve a great God. For God is not the author of confusion, but a God of peace, as in all churches of the saints. My dear friends, don't give an opportunity to enemy. God bless you, and God bless America. And I see you soon. Amen.